What?
Brian O'Connor, A-list coach, top 5 coach in America in college baseball, left Virginia to go to Mississippi State.
What?
We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. We're brought to you by Mills Contracting. And Matt Mills and the team are doing an unbelievable job and building a great company. Assisted living facilities, strip centers, unbelievable community center they just built in Starkville. Mills Contracting in Gluckstadt, Mississippi. Matt Mills and the team are ready to build your next project with over 35 years of experience in general contracting and construction. Mills Contracting in Gluckstadt. Assisted living facilities, community centers, state parks, and strip centers, all powered by Mills Contracting in Gluckstadt. Matt Mills and the team there. You're listening to 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Bo Bounds, Jay Meadows with you. We're here on a Monday. Ole Miss playing for Super Regional against Murray State. This thing is lined up. That was a hell of a game against Georgia Tech yesterday. Congratulations to Ole Miss for closing that thing out against a good team. Danny Hall has done a great job at Georgia Tech. We had him on the show years ago. I went over to Georgia Tech Regional with my buddy Stephen Clay in 2005. Mississippi State was playing there. It was in Ron Polk 2. And we had a good time that weekend, hanging out in Atlanta. Mississippi State didn't win the regional. That was at a time when they were still not doing what they needed to do in the postseason. But he won forever at Georgia Tech, and he stepped down. That was it. He had already announced his retirement, and boom. How about that? And Mike Bianco and Ole Miss beat a good Georgia Tech team. There was lead changes and craziness, but they did what they needed to do to close that puppy out. And now and then they smoked Murray State. Then they'll play Murray State again today. So that's the line. And then if they win, which they should, they'll host Duke in the Super Regional, which I think Duke's all right, nice, but I think Duke's far from what. Especially when you got Hunter Elliott. I mean, that's the thing. When you're throwing Hunter Elliott or JB Middleton like Southern Miss, woo, Super Regional, that's delicious because you get that one and then it's on. Right? Best 2 or 3. So Southern Miss will play Miami. Did you say 8 o'clock tonight, Wild Man?
That's it. 8 p.m.
I'm still not convinced that you've got that right.
I'm not either.
But I'm gonna go with it.
I'd go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. What?
Yeah, just him looking at these nicknames and what all they're going to do with this stuff.
Brian O'Connor?
Yeah, I mean,
all
it's
right,
incredible.
give me the 3 best, in your opinion.
Okay.
Hold on, let me lay this out. Tanner Allen's coming on next.
Well, get his opinion.
2021 National Player of the Year, National Champ, Tanner Allen at Mississippi State. Jay Powell, All-American, MLB, World Series champ. Jay Powell joins us at 9:30. So the last 45 minutes of the show, all interviews. And we may have Steve Robertson after the show. And if we do, we'll post it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds. The Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776. 885-3776. Twitter X at Bo Bounds. We've been active on Twitter, more so than usual. And the Bush Light caller line is 601-707-3750. All right. Sun Devil Macy. I can't get into all that. I'll get into that a little bit later. All right, what do you have? 3 best nicknames for the new head baseball coach at Mississippi State, Brian O'Connor.
Omaha Connor.
Okay, I like that.
All right, I'm okay with that.
Omaha Connor, actually, that's
not bad.
Okay.
We're off to a decent start.
That is a nice start.
The Klanga Commander, which I don't know about that one. I'm good on that.
I'm not good on that.
The best one here, though, is going to be the Dog Father.
The Dog Father?
And play the Godfather stuff when he walks out.
Oh, that's nice.
And so then the whole outfield, it turns into the mob. I'm telling you.
Well done.
Yeah, if they want this, they can have it. They're welcome. Turn into the whole mob. You got certain parts of the outfield. There'll be the enforcer. Certain, you can do whatever you want out there because the mob's deep. Yeah, I mean they're gonna drill that. I mean, because you gotta have something that involves everybody and gets everybody hot and bothered, and you can do cool stuff with the stands.
Let's go over it again. Omaha Connor,
yeah, I like
or
that.
Dog Father.
Yeah, I think
let's ask our listeners which one. Is there one more that you really like? Because I'm going to throw out the text line and get a little feedback.
I hate to go to it, but the Coach O is just so simple.
No, that's out.
I think it's out. So is it BOC? Is that
BOC's cool?
Yeah.
That's got a cool factor.
Yeah,
and BOC can be for obviously Brian O'Connor or Bulldog O'Connor.
Bulldog O'Connor.
All right. On the Golden Moon Casino text line, 601-885-3776. Which one do you like better as far as his nickname? Omaha Connor or Dogfather?
Dogfather commands a certain presence, doesn't it?
His nickname is Oak. Yeah, I know. But
it's a tree.
We're going to have another nickname because we're trendsetters and
That's right.
We do stuff before everybody else in this space of sports talk radio and sports marketing. In fact, we may have just dialed up one of the coolest remotes ever. And we've done some cool remotes, but we were texting somebody about 45 minutes ago, and if this lines up, holy Mary Olzap. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Rick's Pro Truck. Let's go spraying bedliners, lift kits, tires, and wheels, all powered by Rick's Pro Truck. And there are 3 locations. Trucks live here. RicksProTruck.com. Spray and bedliners, lift kits, tires, and wheels. We need to do another giveaway through Rick's Pro Truck, so I'll have to reach out to Justin on that. What do you got, man?
Syndicate Saturdays for the mob boss.
Ooh.
Oh, man, this is incredible.
Ooh.
The Dogfather stuff run by the Dogfather. Oh, I like the official student section. Their rule or their slogan: loyal to the Dogfather, ruthless to the rest.
Well, you got a throat cutter.
You got one.
You do.
Family runs the dude.
Tanner Allen coming up next. TA in the house on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Then Jay Powell will go back to back, former Hail State Dogs. Big day today for Southern Miss and Coach Oz and Ole Miss and Mike Bianco. Mike Bianco ain't going anywhere. He's going to coach at Ole Miss as long as he wants. Now we got some Brian O'Connor and Mike Bianco. They've faced each other before in a super regional. This is just going to get better and better. The show is driven by your next X-Mark zero-turn mower from Hartley Equipment in Gluckstadt, Mississippi on Church Road. All right. There's a new head baseball coach in Starkville, Mississippi. Brian O'Connor was at Virginia. Our next guest is more than familiar, considering the game that he had in 2021 in the College World Series against a very, very talented Brian O'Connor squad. And don't forget that Cohen and the crew, Renfro and Frazier, went up in 2013 to Virginia in a super regional and won on their home field. But Brian O'Connor, 9 super regionals, 7 College World Series, played in the National Championship Series twice, and won the national title. He's now Mississippi State's baseball coach. Selman, Keenum, and alums stepped up and lifted an A-list coach. And he's in Starkville. They're tweeting out pictures from the loft and the stadium and so on today, as they should, as the portal opens. We welcome in 2021 National Player of the Year and National Champ at Hale State. Tanner Allen joins us on the Out of Bounds show. TA, you're familiar with how good this Virginia program was under Brian O'Connor, aren't you?
Very familiar. Very familiar. I think we hit this one out the park, man. I really do.
I agree. Look, you know this. In baseball, these guys don't move around much. I mean, it is few and far between. Most time they get somewhere, and if they're having success, they stay 15 to 20 years. So to lift O'Connor in season 22 is a home run for the program that you played for. How good was that squad back in 2021 that y'all played?
They were really good, man. It was like I said, the thing I remember is it was just a hard-fought game all the way to the end. You know, after we had the big 8th inning, they came right back the next inning and hit a home run, got runners in scoring position. But thank God we had, a guy named Landon Sims who was able to come in the game and shut the door. But, man, when I first saw it, the first thing that came to my mind is, our program, our expectation is to be in Omaha every single year, okay? And that's just a reality of our expectation. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, ever since I started watching the College World Series, I swear to you, it feels like Virginia's there every year. So right there in the conversation, and the Supers in Omaha, they're there. So I believe this is a really, really good hire. I told somebody the other night jokingly, last night, I'm like, this is about the only guy that I would have liked north of Tennessee to come down here and coach us.
Tanner Allen on the Out of Bounds show and the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line, 2021 National Player of the Year. He's excited that Brian O'Connor is the new head baseball coach. I'm sure TA will meet him this week or next. The portal opens today, so there's a lot of work to do. Plus, they're hoping to retain Ace Reese and some other guys. Hey, TA, you hit from the left side, one of the best hitters in college baseball. What do you see with Ace Reese and how much talent, what all he can do with the baseball bat?
Man, he's a very special hitter. And, this past weekend, I know he didn't have the best weekend, but it's different, man. When your postseason rolls around and you're the best player, you try to hold yourself to a higher standard and try to perform, and you start trying to do too much. And that's all that happened. He's a very special hitter, man. The thing with me is what I like to see is I notice he's got the power, right? There's a lot of guys that got power, but, man, he was hitting 375. That means he's putting the barrel on the ball a lot, not just hitting home runs. Like, he's splitting gaps, hitting doubles, and stuff like that. And he's hitting left-handed pitching really good all year. Now, this past weekend, all he was doing was spinning off the all-speed and was late to the fastball. He was in between stuff, right? So I wish I'd have been able to tell him if we'd have won last time, but, hey, look, you need to go up there and pick one and just hunt it. Don't guess for it, just hunt it. And when you get it, let it happen. And but, man, special talent, probably one of the best hitters in the country, probably if not the best third baseman in the country. So he had a really good year. I hope we can get him back. I know our Hale State family would love to have him back, and he'd be a big part of our team next year.
He is Tanner Allen on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. The MSU fan base is elated. I mean, our text line is insane. Brian O'Connor, top 5 baseball coach in America. Number 2 in winning percentage, only behind Corbin. The last 20-plus years, is now the new head coach for Mississippi State. All right, so did you see one of your close friends hit a home run over the weekend, Jake Mangum?
I did. He, I didn't know he had that much power at right center. He'd laugh if I told him that. But man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just being real with you, and I know how the professional game works. When he got hurt, I was really concerned. But to see that the Rays sent down one of their top prospects, Chandler Simpson, back to AAA, to open a spot back up for Jake tells me what they think of him, man, and he has earned that. So that is awesome for him. And I know Stacy got the home run on video. Everybody got it on video. A really cool moment. So if anybody knows Jake Mangum and knows his story, you can't help but just pull for the guy. So I'm extremely, extremely happy for him.
Yeah, no doubt. What's happening? Are you giving a bunch of lessons right now?
So what I'm doing, everybody's like, I'm getting grilled on Twitter. Everybody's like, yeah, you're not doing anything, you're bum. I'm like, hold on now. All right, look, I don't care. I really don't keep my personal stuff out there. But man, what I'm doing right now is I'm running a lot of baseball clinics, teaching guys baseball, and I'm about to start my own baseball academy. So that's what I got in the makings. A lot of it's going to be online. Majority of it's going to be online. And then a lot is what I'm going to do is, man, I plan on training a select group of guys that I pick and give them the best, training, advice, direction they can have to the guys that want to go play big-time college baseball. So that's what I'm going to start doing right there.
I like
that. Of course, I got the keynote speaking stuff still going on too, but I got to put that on pause right now to get this academy off the ground.
I like it. The TA Baseball Academy. How does that sound?
That's what it's going to be, man. It's going to be what it is literally I'm going to be cranking out and training players to play the game and be just like and train them the way I was when I was in college. And I feel like that's got a lot of value, man. These parents out there, there's kids out there that are always trying to figure out what they got to do to take their game to the next level, and I don't think there's anybody better in the South to help them do that than me because I've lived it firsthand.
I don't think there's any doubt. You started day one in the SEC as a freshman, and then, of course, became the 2021 National Player of the Year. So y'all follow Tanner Allen on social media, Instagram and Twitter over the next few weeks or month or so. He's going to roll out the TA Baseball Academy. And one of the sweetest swings in the history of college baseball, big-time numbers, national champ. He's going to roll out an awesome baseball academy and train the elite of the elite who want to take it to another level. TA will do it again soon, hopefully in studio when you're coming through Jackson, Mississippi. And I hope to see you in Jackson or Starkville soon, my man.
Good to see you, Bo. I appreciate it, brother. I had a blast. See you soon.
Tanner Allen, 2021 National Player of the Year. He's going to start the TA Baseball Academy. TA joined us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Bundle your auto and home and save. Go local, go with the home team, as Jake Mangum tells us, who ripped his first Major League Baseball home run over the weekend for the Tampa Bay Rays. And it was so awesome watching Stacy Mangum celebrate and seeing Jake get there. Unbelievable. He's a 30-year-old rookie. That's what they said. Unbelievable. Resiliency. TA, thanks for joining us on the show, the TA Baseball Academy. We'll talk more about that once he rolls that out. Jay Powell coming up next. All right, let's go over it again. We are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. We're brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, the official healthcare provider of the Out of Bounds Show. Brian O'Connor, former Virginia coach, is now the new Hell State baseball coach. So 9 super regionals, 7 College World Series, played for the national championship twice, and won one. Brian O'Connor is a top 3, worst case top 5 college baseball coach in America. He's now in Starkville as the new coach and bringing 2 assistants and a baseball administrator with him. And they're tweeting out pictures of staying in the loft and of Duty Noble Polk Dement Stadium. So this is it's the best hire in the history of Mississippi State athletics as far as his resume coming in. Now we'll see what happens. You've had guys have enormous amount of success in Polk, Mullen, Schaefer, among others. Richard Williams, Final Four, but this is one hell of a hire. So we thought we'd welcome in former Hell State All-American, Major League Baseball player, World Series champ. He also calls the games and does a good job on the Hell State Baseball Network. Jay Powell joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Jay, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, man. Good to be here.
What are you going on? Just a few hours of sleep?
Not many. We got a little bit, but it was definitely an exciting night, and I think a lot of folks are waking up this morning and definitely in an excited mood and excited about seeing what the future holds.
Yeah, well, let's talk. All right, so this program means the world to you. You played there, and then you parlayed that into an MLB career. You follow them, you call games throughout the year. You know, as a former player, when you see that they just lifted an A-list guy, he's number 2 winning percentage the last 25 years in college baseball, only behind Corbin. What does that mean to you, Jay Powell?
Well, I mean, as far as a hire, I mean, none of us know what is going to take place next few years, but I mean, I don't see how you could have really done any better. I mean, Brian is what he's done, and I just think not only that, I think it's a good fit. You know, there's some coaches out there that probably would do a great job, but it's got to be the right fit for the culture, for the university, and I really feel like that Brian is that. I mean, I don't know honestly how you could have done any better than what they did with bringing him in.
All right, so you got the portal that opens today. Let's talk about Ace Reese. He may not have had – I mean, baseball's difficult, as you know. Everybody goes through tough stretches. He may not have had the weekend that he wanted, but he is insanely talented, and you've seen this young man play throughout the season. I'm going to get to McPherson and Charlie Foster, some of the young pitchers that may be retained, because I thought Foster looked really good. He didn't get to throw a lot this year. And I thought McPherson pitched well too. But when you watch Ace Reese, I mean, this guy is a star. What jumps out at you, Jay Powell?
Well, the ability, obviously, the hitting ability is really something special. The power. I mean, he's got a chance to be a really a big time player. I mean, you look at the way you build your lineup around, you try to find these guys in the middle of the lineup, and Ace is that guy. And there's only a handful of them probably around college baseball. And I think at this point, he's kind of target number 1. You've got to do whatever you can to hold on to Ace. And, in a perfect world, I think they probably wait a day or two to let the dust settle from this season, making this announcement. But you don't have that luxury with the way college sports are now. And it's, you have to hit the ground running. And we've got some key pieces on that team that you have to hold on to. And now with the portal opening, you got to be very aggressive in it. And I think that's, as soon as the season, there was some talk of the announcement and why not wait a couple of days? I don't think you've got that luxury. I really don't.
You can't. You just can't. And
I mean,
I think you're hitting on something, Jay. Justin Parker and Jay Gautreaux did a phenomenal job the last 6 weeks of the season. And they're both uber competitive, and you know both of them. And you're friends with both of them. And I like both of them, and they've been great to us. But like Selman and Brian O'Connor didn't make the rules, I think is what you're saying. And while I understand there could have been a little bit of frustration, also heat of the moment, you just lost a tough game. You called it that they were up 2-0 and could have had a chance to win. But as you said, the rules are what they are. None of these guys made them, and you got to do what you got to do to keep the program moving forward, right, Jay?
Yep. And I think they realized, and I'll give them credit. I think they realized. Zach, look, it is what it is. There's people left and right trying to get Ace Reese, and they're trying to get some of these young pitchers, and they were going to go all in. I mean, it was coming, and you don't have the ability to say, okay, let's let the dust settle, let these guys you just don't have that time. I mean, unfortunately, you've got to do this. And look, like you said, I mean, as far as the hire, this kind of sends a message that, hey, we're not messing around. Like, this is, we're pushing chips in, and that stadium was built for one thing, and it's championship baseball. And, by gosh, we're going to bring it back.
Jay Powell, All-American at MSU, a decade plus in MLB, joins us on the Out of Bounds show. What'd you see from Charlie Fall? He didn't get to pitch as much as he wanted to this weekend, but, highly recruited and sought after. What did you think about his outing this weekend?
Charlie, I've got Charlie up in the Cape this summer and Chatham with me. And from day one, those coaches talk about how talented he is. Charlie's plus fastball, the stuff is very good. He's deceptive, hard to pick up. There was talk even early in the year of him maybe being an SEC weekend guy. That's how much they thought of him talent-wise. So the stuff's there, and it's just unfortunate that, we didn't get to see more of him. But you hold on to Charlie. I've said all along, Ryan McPherson's one of my favorite guys I've seen as a freshman step on campus. And you've got some real good pieces. Luke Dotson, Evan Thierry's turned into a really good weekend guy. There's some pieces that you need to hold on to, and Charlie's one of them, definitely.
I thought McPherson looked really good, too, over the weekend and battled his tail off in a game. You've been there. In a game with everything on the line, in a hostile environment as a freshman. What'd you see yesterday, Jay?
I saw a kid that's the environment never gets to him. And even yesterday it didn't. He goes in a tough situation. He tries to make a play at second base. Hey, I did the same thing in the second game of the World Series. I mean, and if he makes that throw, now you got to run it first with no outs, but he just pulled him off the bag a little bit. But the moment is never too big for Ryan, and I've said that all along for him all year. I'm telling you, but to me, he's got a chance to be big time. The stuff is electric, and he's only going to get better. Showed an ability to come back yesterday on short rest, 1 day rest, throwing 41 pitches, and the stuff didn't drop off. I mean, so I don't know whether you keep him in the back end of the bullpen. When I see him, I start thinking of a young Landon Sims sometimes. Or do you kind of put him in the rotation? I mean, that's what they're going to have to figure out next year.
How impressed were you, good grief, with that Florida State starting pitching, Jay? Good.
Well, you talk about Ace struggling a little bit, and a lot of that had to do with Jamie Arnold and Wes Mendez. Look, Jamie Arnold's slider is as good as I've seen. He reminded me, and he's not as talented. Now, don't get me wrong, but his arm slide and the way his slider and his fastball tunneled off each other reminded me of Randy Johnson. Low three quarters, and the ball, it's just, you don't see it. And there's a lot of times I can say, well, you can say, oh, here's slider, whatever. I would have to look from the board. I mean, because you had no clue. You just could not pick that slider up. And he's throwing 96 miles per hour, by the way. And Mendez was good too. Of course, I don't think he's quite as good as what Jamie Arnold was. But if you're going to win big time in that postseason, you got to have a dude at the front end of the station.
Yes.
And Pico kind of stumbled a little bit down the stretch, and we honestly we didn't have it. And I hate admitting this. Florida State was better than we were.
No question.
They were. And, our kids fought and battled and put themselves in position to go to a game on Monday. But Florida State is really talented. So, but yeah, that starting pitching, and that's something we got to find. You got to have a dude, man. You got to have somebody you can run out there and match up with anybody in the country if you want to be a serious national championship contender.
No doubt. Jay Powell on the Out of Bounds show, World Series champ with the Marlins. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. He was in Tallahassee over the weekend. Okay, you mentioned Cape Cod. What are you doing up there this summer?
I'm the pitching coach at Chatham, and we've got actually got 4 of our guys. Ace is supposed to be coming. I don't know if USA Baseball is going to take him away. Charlie Foster, Dane Burns, Duke Stone. I'm going to be up there this summer as the pitching coach with Chatham.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did it a few years ago and really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that group, that level of kids, man. They're fun to coach. They're really talented. And it's a kind of a laid back environment, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, I'm fortunate to have that opportunity.
What is the stint? Is it 4-6 weeks? How long is it, Jay?
It's about, I'll tell you this, I leave Saturday and I come back. The season ends August 3rd. So it's about 7 weeks.
Hey.
And, that league was founded by Major League Baseball, and they tried to give the highest prospects in college baseball the kind of Major League experience. So they've actually cut the league down. It used to be longer than it is. But if you make the playoffs, you're up there for about 2 months.
Dang.
Not a bad place to spend the summer.
No. No humidity or very little. And
if you put a sweatshirt on a July afternoon, it's not too bad.
That's great. And I guess this is also a deal where you've got to manage pitchers and pitches and innings and things like that coming off the season.
Yeah, and like one of the guys coming up with us is Mendez, the kid that pitched last night.
Oh, nice.
But he's going to be at probably 80 innings, and so you got some kids that'll come up halfway through, that'll be there only for half a year. Some of them will be there the whole year. That's what I'm excited about, Charlie and even Dane and Duke. But I say Charlie, because those guys need to pitch, and we'll probably hopefully have those guys, but the main thing is we want to keep them healthy. We want to return them back to their university in a better position than they were, and as a better pitcher, but as a healthy player. So it's a little bit of a juggle roster wise as you go through the season, but it's a lot of fun.
I bet. Jay Powell on the Out of Bounds show. You mentioned Jamie Arnold. How do you feel? Where do you land or stand? Link Jarrett let him go almost 120 pitches the other night. Or this time of year when it's warm and a dude's rolling and warmed up, are you good with that? Would you cut it off at 90 or 100? Where do you stand with that, Jay?
I'm fine with it. I really am. I mean, he threw 100 and whatever it was, and what did he throw? 7 innings or 8, however many it was. I mean, to me, that is like Carson Liggins threw 101 in 4+ or 4 innings or whatever last night. I mean, you're to me, that's more taxing than going 120 through 7+. And I know that makes not a lot of sense, but those high intensity, high pitch count innings take a lot out of you. And this time of year, I mean, if he's been handled right all year, I got no problem with that. I think that, now if you turn around 2 days later and bring him back, that's maybe getting a little different. But
sure.
No, I don't have a problem with either one of them. I think they handled it fine. I really do.
Yeah. All right. So, and yeah, you make a good point, Carson Ligon, and for what he is, and you may want to expound on this, but for what he is, I thought he really brought it yesterday. You know, hitting 96, 97. He was obviously jacked up. He's faced that team before when he was at Miami. But what you're saying is, I think it was the third inning, Jay. He had like a 35 pitch inning or fourth.
Yeah.
And those are the things that kind of eat you up. But if you're rolling right along like Jamie Arnold, it's just more rhythm and better for you is what you're saying.
That's my opinion. Correct. I mean, you look at, most starts, you'll have 2 innings that I call hump innings, where you got to go to the well to get out of that inning. And sometimes where they fall depends on how long you go in a game. I mean, if that inning, if you hit 105 pitches, but you have to throw 36 to get out of the 6th inning, then you may not be, you know what I'm saying? Whether that 36 comes in the 2nd inning and all of a sudden you've gotten a rhythm, it's just different, the amount of intensity and workload you have at what part it falls during the game. And Carson, it was almost every inning. I mean, he was, high digit pitch counts and having to make really kind of high leverage pitches and situations that, were season ending.
What did you, I said this earlier, Mississippi State, the program that they need to have a roster like Florida State, both in the field and on the mound. You agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
I felt like there's just needed to out-recruit some of the players that they had. All right, so you've been in youth baseball. You've coached at J, Prep. I may have missed a spot. When people come up to you, you just mentioned, a 21-year-old who's dealing and throwing 10 to 15 max 20 pitches an inning. You're going to let him roll if he's feeling good, like a Jamie Arnold with Florida State.
Yeah.
When parents come up to you and they have a very talented kid and they ask you, this kid's 12, 13, 14 years old, what do you tell them as far as how much they should or shouldn't pitch, Jay?
Well, it's, that's where good pitching coaches earn their money, and people that kind of know what they're doing. Because to me, there's not you can't say don't throw over 70 innings a year. Don't throw, I think, you look at it as a basis and say, okay, this 12, we're 12, we want to keep him at say 60 innings for the course of the spring and summer, whatever. The thing that kills these kids, and I think what we're missing the boat on big time, is they're chasing velocity at a young age, and that's where we're ruining pitchers. When we got 12-year-olds and 13 and 10, and it's all velocity training, I mean, that's where we're having issues. And the analogy I get is, you go to the Corvette shop, you buy your brand new Corvette, and it is super fine, super talented, can haul butt, but every day we're going to go out there and we're going to redline it. It's not going to last. Like it's some people, that's what these kids are doing. I mean, they go and they train, they redline every bullpen, they go out there. I mean, it's just, it's not built to sustain that, and that's why you're seeing so many kids now getting hurt. And to me, the pitching, the ability to pitch is falling off. And, they can say what they want and this and that, but all you got to do is watch it. The command of the fastball, the command of your secondary pitches, a lot of this it's not being taught anymore. And that's why it's all velocity. It's all hike it up, throw it as hard as you can, and let's try to beat them with velocity. And what really blows me away is you get kids throwing 96, 97 miles per hour, and, we recruit these hard-throwing kids, and then they get on campus sometimes, and it's all everywhere across the country, and then we don't use the fastball, and then we just get so heavy with breaking balls, and I think, honestly, toward the end of Fox's career at State, that's kind of what got him. It got so breaking ball heavy, and you look through the sequences, and it was pretty easy to figure out what pitch is coming. And I think that's because we get scared of contact as a pitcher coach and as a pitcher, and it just snowballs from there.
I had a MLB guy say that it's almost, I want to piggyback off this real quick. I've only got a couple of minutes, but it's like they get them up into college and they nibble too much around the plate.
It's unbelievable. You know, hitting a baseball is hard to do. It's really hard to do. And you watch the way a lot of guys pitch, and look, there's some really talented guys. That aluminum bat is super hot, and you can make some pitches and it goes out of the park. But it's just when you pitch, we were always taught as pitchers, you pitch to contact. You want contact, but you want your contact. I want you to hit the ball the way I want you to hit it. You want, ground balls, you want easy out. I mean, they pitch away from contact, and you see it. But we got guys throwing the 9-hitter, 3-0 sliders that's hitting 210. There's a reason why I'm hitting number 9. I mean, it's stuff that I just scratch my head. And I'm not, look, we do it sometimes at state, but this is widespread. I'm not bashing Justin or any of these guys. I mean,
sure.
It's and as a coach, you fall in those sometimes where contact, you just get scared of contact, because if you get knocked around a little bit, you're like, take gum, I don't want to get up another one here. And it's tough. It's not easy, but I think sometimes we get scared of contact, and that's why you see nibble, 105 pitches through 5 innings.
It drives me crazy, Jay.
Yeah, it drives everybody crazy.
Damn. All right. Hey, man, I hope you have a great summer in the Cape, and thanks so much for the quick turnaround and jumping on today. We appreciate you.
Anytime.
Jay Powell on the Out of Bounds Show, All-American at Mississippi State and World Series champ for the Marlins, Jackson Prep, Jackson Prep, and now recently pitching coach. Now he's going up to Cape Cod, and he just mentioned all the guys that are going up there. That sounds pretty good for the summer, doesn't it? Pull over at night. Man. Hey, the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone ESPN lunch today is brought to you by Martin's in Livingston. They're open in an hour. 1 hour. Martin's in Livingston. Delicious blue plates, sandwiches, burgers, po' boys, and wings with a cool atmosphere. Don't forget, Martin's Market is also open. Milk, cold beer, and breakfast biscuits to go and all that kind of good stuff. Show is also brought to you by Madison Ridgeland Academy. They have a few slots open in the high school, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. You want to call today, 601-856-4455, and take a tour of the campus of Madison Ridgeland Academy. We'll see you tomorrow.